Hi guys, I'm Henry Kaye, as she said. I'm the founder of US&A, or Uniting Strategists and Activists, a company that started with the following observation. Commerce is beginning to challenge democracy as our highest means of expressing public values. Through markets, Americans are instituting a form of pure democracy in which we vote all day long in dozens of transactions that reward or punish companies for their ethical or unethical behavior. I think we all know examples of this. As an outdated political system fails to fix our broken social systems, consumers are increasingly demanding companies to fill this void. Working as a design strategist, doing research-driven design for companies like Nike, Twitter, eBay, Target, Spotify, Puma, and more, I noticed consumers wanted companies to solve problems, not just talk about them. The numbers tell the same story. Consumers don't want to see a Pepsi commercial with protesters holding inoffensive signs that say, "Let's have a conversation, #Pepsi," or Whoppers wrapped in foil inscribed "out and proud," real thing. They will, however, massively reward companies that actually solve problems at scale. So at present, companies are ill-equipped to do this, right? So the tool they have at their disposal is corporate social accountability, or CSR, as they say. So whether a company is held accountable or not is determined by what consumers see with corporate social responsibility, as responsibility goes. Before social media, a company didn't have to address problems at scale, right? On television, cleaning 100 ducks looks the same as cleaning 1,000,000. As corporate actions became transparent, CSR's structural inability to solve problems at scale made it inert, essentially. However, we now have individual corporations with technologies, infrastructures, and supply chains that rival empires. I started a consultancy that helps companies use these resources to solve social problems at scale without using too much of their resources, financial resources. US&A, or Uniting Strategists and Activists, is a research and design consultancy that helps for-profits increase the wealth, health, and influence of the American people at scale while increasing their bottom line. There are some of our clients we've worked with up there, but let me pull back the curtain on how we do this. So there's 3 pillars that help us do this. First is our proprietary research tool we developed at Columbia University, where we help companies identify the social problems their consumers are passionate about solving and how these consumers think and talk about the problems. And that results in a report, which we then make bespoke for companies. Second are coalition partnerships. To solve a problem, you need the right voices at the table who've experienced the problem. This is especially true with social issues. Our diverse network of nonprofit leaders and activists provide us with this deep well of knowledge. Third, and most crucially, is our design process. We create teams of activists, strategists, and designers to enact a process called research-driven innovation. I developed this process over the course of my career in neuroscience and design, which has been a diverse career. This is the key to the scalability of our work. During this process, we map complex corporate assets with the help of companies alongside complex systemic social issues with the help of activists. We then find opportunities to appropriate, even hack, the corporate tool to intervene in the failing social systems without reducing the tool's productivity. This makes for innovations that not only scale, but tell great stories. That's all abstract, so I'm gonna go through an example. This is a great example of our research-driven innovation process, and this was for a company, Data Does Good. We built a free Chrome extension called Data Fights Debt. And for those of you not familiar, Chrome extension is a small piece of technology that you download into your web browser and helps you do various things. Every free download of our plugin erased $1,000 to $3,000 of medical debt using data alone, no cash. So how do we do this? Again, it's relying on the research-driven approach. This is the research-driven design process simplified. You don't have to understand this at all or even look at it anymore. But point is that we find these opportunities where companies can use their resources to interject in these social problems. This is what we learned from that process. Alone, your data is useless. However, the patterns in our data are incredibly valuable. Companies make billions from it, of course. So what Data Fights Debt does is it enables users to copy their data from Amazon, make it anonymous, and then pool it in with other users who are also using the Chrome extension. Patterns in the anonymous data are sold to advertisers, essentially cutting out the middleman of Amazon, and the profit goes back into the data pool of people. every person gets $10 to $30 divided up equally, which is then donated to a company, RIP Medical Debt, a nonprofit which has the ability to buy large swaths of debt for a cent on the dollar and erase it. This is how each free user resulted in $1,000 to $3,000 of debt erased. In total, we will have erased $600,000 to $1.8 million by the spring in medical debt, and increased data does goods user base greatly. Both sides, the people and the company, are profiting greatly. Our budget was small too. This could have been scaled much more. Other projects. We're pitching to use this research innovation process with Netflix, proposing to hack billboards to provide 2 million New Yorkers with free internet while ensuring the company's new subscribers and profit within 18 months. And we're building a platform with government agencies that gets patient innovators rather than big companies invested in and their ideas invested in. So when so many of us see our political institutions governing without the consent of the governed, we challenge business leaders to fill this void. Partner with us, the people. Stand with us and use your creative and monetary resources to amplify our voices. If you meet these challenges, each and every one of us has something to gain. So what we're looking for and what our asks are. We'd love to find opportunities to work with companies to enact this approach, specifically companies with proprietary technology that can be leveraged to solve social problems if they need to market themselves as socially responsible, or they want to engage in social responsibility. We'd love a platform to talk about our ideas as well, and some of the ideas we talked about in here. So connections to media outlets would be wonderful. And finally, resources to make our research methodology more turnkey and scalable. And also, we're inviting constructive feedback later on. So come up, talk to me, ask questions, anything. Thanks. Henry Kaye is my name. Bye.